And looks like finals is up and running. Let's go ahead and check it out. Yes, it's gonna be Tomo 1317 here against Cinder. Or Matt here. It's gonna be Mew against Duraludon. All right, looks like Cinder here was able to go first, get the attachment there on the Arceus. Tomo is playing the technically the more traditional or the more prevalent version in this current metagame, where it's only double turbo, no Meloetta here. And I'm sure if they had the Meloetta, taking knockout on this Arceus would have been big. But right now, this Arceus is safe from any sort of damage this turn. All right, again here, Tomo just setting up name of the game right now, just finding those Genesects, finding those Fusion Strike Pokemon to put in play to facilitate the draws. See Cramomatic come in. No, it's going to be Tails there. One more Fusion Strike system here. Draws 3 more cards. Again, they have the Mew with the energy, but they're going to need a second Mew. They're going to need a second Mew here. They do get the Forest Seal Stone, and they're just going to go ahead and use the V-Star power, possibly find themselves the Battle VIP, because again, Arceus V with 1 energy attachment is already very scary. To go for the Judge here instead. Big Judge, try and maybe slow down the opponent. But again, if they don't find a second Mew V, Cinder here can quite easily take a knockout. Mew V only has 180 HP, which is just enough with, which is just the right amount HP to get knocked out by a Trinity Nova with a DTE. We're going to see another Cramomatic here. Very important Cramomatic. Tails, unfortunately, but there's a quick ball. 1 card left in hand, grabbing 1 more Genesect, drawing 5 more cards here. 4 Genesects in play at the moment. There's a second Mew V. All right, and we know here Cinder, I believe, is not playing any means of damage modification. Let me double check that real quick. Yes, there's no means of damage modification, so it's base 180 for sure. It's just that, do they want to take this knockout here? They do get the DTE and the Ultra Ball, so they have the Arceus V-Star. They have the attack without needing anything necessarily. They even have the boss's orders for turn, right? So they can use this Starbirth to just set up. You know, they can go ahead, Starbirth, find themselves the Duraludon VMAX, and maybe a second one? Or another supporter for the next turn, like Professor's Research. That sounds good for sure. Again, Mew VMAX, another deck here that only plays special energy, right? Duraludon VMAX with the Skyscraper ability just is performing really well in today's meta, where things like Lugia, Regis, Mews, they're only playing special energy. These are some of the best decks in format. And just having that very, very powerful ability, despite not being the fastest deck in the world, definitely cements its place in today's meta. And yeah, we're going to see the Starbirth there grabbing the Duraludon VMAX, and with the Trinity Nova attack, it's going to be a fully powered up Duraludon in just a turn here, and the boss's orders there just to grab the Mew V with the energy. Oh, something of note though. There is no... That wasn't a metal energy. Duraludon VMAX needs a fighting and 2 metal energies to attack. But I believe they're looking for... Okay, they did get one off the prizes. Maybe they had a couple of energies prize there. They do play 5 metal. So I found it very odd, especially this early, where they only have 6 cards in their discard pile, that they didn't have enough metal energy. Must have been multiple prize there. And now that Duraludon's almost good to go. They're gonna need to commit a couple of power tablets as well to take the knockout on a Arceus V-Star. Arceus V-Star does have 280 HP. I like the addition of the 1/1 Flying Pikachu as well in this Arctura list. I just realized that that's why there is the lightning energy there. But yeah, again, 280 HP, still quite the amount of HP to deal with, right? They're gonna need a Mew VMAX, Choice Belt, and 2 power tablets to deal with it. There's the Choice Belt. They still need the Mew VMAX, the energy attachment, still quite a bit. Again, you're digging here. You're digging through this deck to deal with what is essentially not really the threat, right? You're dealing with an Arceus V-Star. After you deal with the Arceus V-Star, you still have to deal with the Duraludon. And I'm not quite sure how you do it besides the Max Miracle. Again, you can Max Miracle to about 130 damage. It's a 130 damage shred to the Duraludon. But that you're essentially 3-shotting the Duraludon. Maybe you have just enough time there. But it's going to be Technoblast, 250 damage. Not quite the knockout. Let's see here what Cinder decides to do. Goes for the Chorus's Experiment there. Gets a couple of cards. Maybe they're thinking... Maybe they're thinking they need to set up another Duraludon. But do we have the energies to facilitate that necessarily? If they do set up 2 Duraludons, that should be game. Right? That should be a board state that Mew VMAX cannot just go over, right? But you do run the threat here. Let me double check the list as well. If the Mew VMAX list, if they're playing things like the Echoing Horn, right? No Echoing Horn here. It's a very interesting Mew VMAX list. I like the choices for the stadium. It's 1 Crystal Cave, 1 Collapse Stadium. Both those stadiums are very anti-lost bots, but in this matchup, you could use the Collapse Stadium to get rid of this Mew VMAX once it's hit by this Arceus V or Duraludon VMAX. And but other than that, there's no Echoing Horn, right? Since there's no Echoing Horn, I feel much safer in putting down this Duraludon V. Because now it's not, even if they take a knockout on this Duraludon V, even if they take a knockout on the Arceus V-Star, you need to force your opponent to deal with the Duraludon V Max, right? That's the name of the game here. And yeah, we're going to see the attachment there onto the Mew V. Do find the boss's orders. So again, just like I said earlier, they're going to be able to deal with this Duraludon. They still need to find the switch, technically. They don't quite have it just yet. There's a cross switcher discarded there by the Cram-O-Matic. They did get heads. Let's see if they have this switch. It's going to be a retreat. I switch card there. So they are able to deal with this Duraludon. But again, it's A-OK. 7 cards left in the deck. So Tomo here has a 6 card plus 2, 8, 15 cards. He has 15 cards total to work with here to deal with a Duraludon VMAX. And I don't quite see how they do it necessarily. They're just going to go ahead and promote the VMAX at this point. Able to just take these 3 prizes, which is big. You know, this is the thing. This is what is stopping me from calling Duraludon VMAX a control style deck, right? Yes, you are tanking, right? You're trying to control the metagame. You're trying to control your opponent's board state to a point where they can't deal with Duraludon. But at the same time, you have to remember Duraludon VMAX is doing 220 damage. That's a lot of damage. You know, that's enough for you to really put in pressure, to put tempo, to gain tempo in this game. And just look at this board state. Duraludon VMAX is going to take this knockout on Mew VMAX. You're going to take 3 prizes. You're going to go down to 1. You're in a scenario where, you know what, I'm a boss away from winning the game. Oh, but looks like they're going to opt to just boss the Mew V. I like this play as well. By bossing this Mew V before it turns into a Mew VMAX, what is Tomo going to do? There's nothing he can hide behind. There's nothing in Tomo's side of the field that can take 220 damage now. The So now he's safe from things like Roxanne, from Marnie. It's game on board, despite having only 2 cards on board, 2 Pokemon on board. Because yeah, nothing. He's gonna have to psychic. If he psychic leaps this Mew VMAX, Mew V, Genesect V's, they can't deal with it. There's no boss stalling either. The Arceus on the bench has multiple energies to try and retreat. I don't quite see it, but again, Tomo here was able to make it to the finals of the late night. If there's a play I'm not seeing, I'm sure someone who can make the finals of late night can make it happen here. But yeah, again, I don't quite see it. Duraludon VMAX, just an absolutely huge tower. Even if, by some miracle, by some max miracle, some would say, the Mew VMAX takes a knockout on the Duraludon. Oh, with the Path of the Peak! Again, yeah, even if you take this knockout, yeah, you know, it's 330 HP, we've already committed power tablets. There's still an Arceus on the bench that can deal with the Mew, right? And there it is. Gmax Pulverization there, taking the last 2 prizes. Okay, that's something I have to keep note of as well. All right, let's head to the desk here while we wait for the players to set up. But yeah, okay, so Path of the Peak, that's one way to hit Duraludon for sure. So could be big. Those cards could be very, very big. Not as big of a wall there compared to, sorry, it's not as big of a wall that a Lugia player has to deal with. Like, Lugia only has one option to deal with Duraludon. Well, now that I think about it, Mew VMAX has 2 Path of the Peak. They have 2 chances there to deal with a Duraludon VMAX, as well as Max Miracle. So there are a couple of options to deal with Duraludon. This should be a very interesting game for sure. And now it is set up. Let's go ahead and head back. All right. Tomo here opting to go first. While, okay, this is big, right? They're going for an Ultra Ball. They're discarding a Power Tablet. By discarding that Power Tablet, the 1 Path of the Peak, Quad Tablet, and Choice Belt play to knock out a Duraludon VMAX no longer on the table. But again, sometimes you have to discard some crucial cards to really get set up here. Something I'm sure Tomo would have loved to see is just a Battle VIP pass on the first turn. Yeah, they're just going to go for a Fusion Strike system here for 2. Can they draw into Battle VIP pass? Maybe even cram Omatic to try and get there. There's a DT attachment to the Mew and not that much. Back here now to Cinder. Cinder here only has the lone Arceus in play. Goes for the Chorus's Experiment. Does get a Quick Ball. That was very important. And debating on the 3rd card. We saw earlier how crucial those Metal Energies were, because he had a couple prize. So I'm sure he's yeah, there it is. I'm sure he was hesitating just based on the scenario from the last turn. And he has another supporter in hand. So the Chorus not as important. The DTE getting attached there to Arceus. They do have a Quick Ball here. It's important. They do, yeah, they can discard the Pikachu because there's no Echoing Horn for Tomo. So that Pikachu is as good as in the Lost Zone. And we're just going to see the Trinity Charge here. Getting the Fighting and double Metal onto the Duraludon. Just going through the prizes. There's one more Duraludon. There's 2 Duraludon VMAX in the deck. One more Duraludon V. And now it's on to Tomo. Tomo has to put in the pressure, right? He has to find the switch, the Mew VMAX, the Choice Belt to take the knockout on this Arceus V. There's the Mew VMAX. Fusion Strike system for 1. Not what you like to see in this scenario, but it's going to be an Ultra Ball. Okay, so there is the chance for a Genesect train to just happen here. We're going to go ahead and Fusion Strike system for 4. And again, once the Genesect train has left the building, it's pretty hard to stop. And this is one more Fusion Strike system here. That should be the last one, because the last bench space should be saved for another Mew V. We're going to see a Quick Ball here. All they need here is a damage modifier, but they did have to discard a Choice Belt and a Power Tablet earlier. No, it's going to be another Genesect. Really? Are they going to discard the Genesect? No. What? They're going to keep the Genesect. They're going big here. They really, really don't want the Arceus V to turn into Arceus V-Star. We're going to see one more Fusion Strike system here for 6. Did it pay off? Again, you have to find yourself a damage modifier in the form of a Choice Belt or the Power Tablets to take this knockout. And you kind of went all in on this play. They still have one more way to draw, and that is with Judge. This could be big. This could be very big if they take this knockout, get rid of the possibility for a Arceus V-Star, and you just judged your opponent. They could potentially get stuck here. Very risky plays. Again, if you Techno Blast with this Mew, you're gonna have to retreat it. Oh, they do play the Collapse Stadium there, so they can use Collapse Stadium, get rid of it, and then bench another Mew later down the line. I can see their plays, and unfortunately, missing out there on the knockout on the Arceus V-Star. Arceus V is gonna give it a chance to evolve into the Arceus V-Star, giving them access to a Starbirth. It's looking very good here for Cinder, because now he has this window opportunity to try and set up a second Duraludon. They can evolve into this Arceus. They can attach the DT, so they have the attack. Could quick ball here, find themselves the second. So no matter what in this hand, I think you have access to evolving into another Duraludon, getting another Duraludon V, and getting a research, right? Hand is pretty good for sure. But if they missed out, right? If they didn't have the Arceus V-Star to work with, Cinder would be in a very, very tough position. That means it would have been a lone Duraludon against the world. But yeah, we're going to see here, go for the Starbirth, try to guess Duraludon VMAX, and possibly the Research. If it's in the deck, there's the Professor's Research. Almost grabbed the big Parasol there. You don't want to misclick here and the finals of the late night event. Oh, opting for maybe Temple of Sinnoh instead. That could be an interesting play, but no, I think you need a supporter here. Looking like they wanted to keep the Ultra Ball in hand. I like that, because they need the Ultra Ball for next turn for sure. So might as well just grab a Chorus. That's 2 less cards, but you know, you already have one of the cards you want in hand. They go for the Chorus's Experiment here. Boss, Marnie, and the Energy. If I had to get, yep, there it is. And they could attach the DTE, or they could attach the Metal Energy. Looks like they're going for the Metal Energy instead onto the Arceus V. Do they have enough there to power up a second Duraludon? Yes, they do. And just like that, 2 Duraludons are almost up and running. Tomo is in a tough position. We know there's Ultra Ball in hand. Bumps the Stadium there, gets the Crystal Cave into play. Again, very anti-Lost Box Stadium for sure. And does have the retreat into Switch card, so this Mew VMAX can attack once again. But I'm sure here they need to find a way to knock out the Duraludon V on the bench. Just like earlier, they cannot deal with 2 Duraludon VMAX. I don't think the Mew has enough resources to deal with 2 VMAXs. So they have to take this knockout before it evolves. So in order to do that, they need a damage modifier and the Gust. Question is, do they have it here? They're going for the Star Alchemy. Star Alchemy again. Half a Starbirth here. Finds anything they want from the deck. But they still need 2 pieces, I believe. opting to use an Ultra Ball. Maybe the fact that they needed 2 pieces, forcing them to find the Ultra Ball off the start alchemy, potentially just to thin out the hand. That's an option for sure. Typically, you see a switch card there, an item card you can't burn, unfortunately, because it is a Mew VMAX is not a basic Pokemon. You can't use it to switch out there. You're gonna see a quick ball. There's four Genesect to work with. You have to imagine that Mew VMAX just has to draw the right cards. You know, you're drawing so many cards at this moment, but there are a lot of unplayable cards like the double turbo energies, maybe a couple of Pokemon you can no longer play because your bench is full. We're gonna see the loss of vacuum here again, just thinning out the hand. Big draw here is gonna be a draw 4. There's the Cramomatic discarding a battle VIP. It is heads there. So at least one piece of the puzzle should be in Tomo's hand. There's the boss's orders onto Duraludon and the power tablet. So there it is, cross range strike into a Techno Blast for the knockout. And just like that, it's going to be Arceus and Duraludon against the very similar board position, in my opinion, since as the last, very similar board position to the last game here, right? There's one Mew VMAX on the bench. There's a Mew V heavily damaged. We have a boss's orders in hand. Do they go for it again? You know, earlier that was the game-winning play, right? That was a game-winning play on Cinder's side of the field. But however, this time it's still 2 prizes off. But they could be 2 attacks here from winning the game, right? If they opt to boss the Mew V, 3 attacks, including the attack from this turn. If they opt to attack the Mew V, take that knockout, and then take a knockout on the Mew VMAX, because that's all that can attack this turn, and then go for another boss, theoretically, that could win them the game in 3 turns. Whereas if you take a knockout on the Mew V right now, take a knockout on the Mew VMAX right now, the Mew V on the bench could evolve into Mew VMAX, and you have to 2-shot that before it's knocked out. That's also 3 turns, technically. Yeah, that's also 3 turns. So there are some options for sure. But yeah, I think here maybe just taking the knockout on the Mew V, definitely safe. Yes, you're leaving your Arceus in the active. I like this play. So he's leaving the Arceus in the active just to thin out the deck 3 cards, right? So they are essentially a gust and 2 gusts away from winning the game. I'm not quite sure how many they've used at this point or how many they've had to discard. But again, they're going down to 3 prizes. And hitting into the active Mew also isn't the worst, right? If they evolve this Mew into a Mew VMAX, heading into it and then just hoping to find the boss later down the line is definitely a play. It's going to take them multiple turns to deal with this board here with the Arceus V, with the Duraludon VMAX. 10 cards with 13 cards left. There's 13 cards left. If you win the Stadium War, you also just win the game as well. That's something we have to keep note. So we're going to see the Genesect there draw 3 more cards. There's the Mew VMAX, excuse me. Lost Vacuum coming down as well. Again, both players just thinning out decks, thinning out cards at this point. Something that is live is Roxanne now. I'm sure. Let me double check if the Mew player is playing it. Yes, they do play 1 Roxanne, but it's going to be a judge there. Let's see if they find anything in particular in the next hand. Again, you don't need that much. You just need to hit. Here, you just need to thin out the hand and find the judge at the right moment. 26 cards there for Cinder's deck. Tomo's actually down to his last card. Something we have to fully expect here is a Roxanne. But if you Roxanne, it's going to be a psychically Okay, okay. So that was a Psychic Leap knockout there on the Arceus V-Star. Like that play. It does avoid, stop them from getting a... Sorry, it does stop them from taking... or doing damage on the Mew VMAX. Also stops them from getting decked out. That's what I was thinking. We're going to see the Ultra Ball here. I think Ultra Ball just to thin out the hand. But the Escape Rope's a really good card. Temple of Sinnoh is a really good card. All you want to get rid of is the Double Turbo. You could attach the Double Turbo, just do 200 damage. That's not too bad. But we're just going to see a Marnie here. All we're looking for is a boss for the next turn. That's all we need for the next turn. Because we're going to take a knockout here on the Genesect. Cinder here, just very, very, very close to winning the game. Temple of Sinnoh being played, I don't mind that, just because it is one less card to draw. It does stop the Mew V from attacking, but I fully expect them to just have the Path to the Peak this next turn. That's the card they're going to have to play anyway to hit into Duraludon, because they won't have access to Max Miracle. There's no second Mew VMAX to copy. Yeah, there's no second Mew VMAX to copy. Right now, they need a lot. They need to disrupt the hand. They need to Roxanne, find the Mew VMAX, find the Path to the Peak. There's a Choice Belt. Last card in the hand has to be Roxanne. No, it's going to be draw a couple more cards. Again, they have access to everything in their deck. But they have to do it so that they don't deck out. They're going to drop the Forest Seal Stone as well. Draw one more card here. Yeah. Again, if the hand isn't disrupted, Cinder here. Matt has game in hand. Tomo down to one card. That's the Path to the Peak. Cross Fusion Strike into a Psychic Leap there, doing 80 damage. But here it is. Matt Vandersloot. Cinder does have the boss's orders and G-Max Pulverization to become tonight's late night number 74 champion. Absolutely huge. Again, we got to see just how powerful this Duraludon VMAX is. And let's go back and hang out at the desk there while we talk about, while we dissect that game. Again, Matt just being able to put in the pressure. Like, again, Duraludon VMAX almost feels like a control, but also, you know, it's 220 is nothing to scoff at. 220 shred that goes through absolutely anything. That means if you're attacking with something like the Rolling Iron on Gudra, for example, that reduces damage, it goes through that. If for some reason you have special energies on your Duraludon, you can still hit into opposing Duraludon, or you can hit through Milk Tank. So absolutely big, absolutely powerful card, and we got to sit through a masterclass of how to play the deck. Again, manipulating the field so that your Duraludon is in a good position to close things out. That's one way to play it, or just putting in the pressure. Again, 220 damage after 180, absolutely big. And again, very, very good deck in today's metagame. And we got to see it play against almost every special energy deck and piloted well, just like our champion here, Matt Vandersloot. Absolutely huge. Again, congratulations to Matt, the late night number 74 champion. He is this much closer to that trip to Japan. With that, on behalf of the Shuffle Squad and myself, Primetime Wizard TV, thank you for tuning in and have a good night.
Squad is proudly sponsored by Atlas Collectibles, the best place to buy any trading card game product online. Visit atlastcg.com and at the checkout screen, make sure to use code TSS12 to save an unbeatable 12% off your entire order. Atlas Collectibles will ship your product anywhere in the world, so make sure you're taking advantage of the 12% savings with TSS12. And if Pokemon is not your thing, don't worry. Go to atlastcg.com and see all the other amazing trading card game products they have there to offer.
The Shuffle Squad is partnered with PTCGO Store to provide our community with the best access to Pokemon TCG codes. They have codes available 24/7, instant email delivery, and you can save 5% off by using code TSS5. If you're a YouTube member or Patreon supporter, you'll have access to a special code that gets you 10% off. So what are you waiting for? Use code TSS5 today and save 5% on your next order of codes on any codes available at ptcgostore.com.
Are you trying to be the best like no one ever was? Now is your time. Head on over to Metafy.gg and search out all our amazing Pokemon TCG coaches where you can book all sorts of training plans ranging from deck help to full season sessions with your favorite coach. What a great way to up your game. Check out Metafy.gg in the description below and take your game to the next level. Challenge yourself against trainers from around the world to compete for the biggest online prizing yet.
Are you ready for an unbelievable tournament unlike anything else you've ever seen before? The Shuffle Squad is proud to announce our newest tournament series, the Late Night Event, with an amazing grand prize that's bound to have you excited.
Players can compete via play.limitless.tcg.com's online tournament platform every Tuesday to get a chance to earn weekly prizes. And every week, your placement in the tournament is tallied by points based on your best finishes to earn your rank for the Late Night Invitational event.
The series will be conducted starting February 7th of 2023 and carry all the way through to the Invitational on July 9th of 2023, where the top players will be rewarded the grand prizing.
And the grand prize is a signed jersey and photo op with the entire Shuffle Squad, as well as a fully paid trip to the Pokemon World Championships in Yokohama, Japan. This includes hotel and airfare, whether you're a player or a spectator.
Don't forget to check out all the live coverage on our YouTube and Twitch channel of the top cuts of these events for every week. And subscribe so you can get notified where to watch the Late Night Events Invitational brought to you by the Shuffle Squad. Now get out there and start winning. We'll see you in Japan.